Hey, David! Did you screw up again at work? How many times has it been this month now? Get your act together. Seriously, give me a break.
Becca, I don't need to hear this from you, too, right now. I'm feeling bad enough as it is.
Well, you're getting what you deserve, haha.
No, honestly, it wasn't my mistake.
What do you mean?
There was nothing wrong with what I wrote at my stage. It was someone later down the line that rewrote some things in that report. It should have been that person who got in trouble. But because I was the one in charge of the project, it got pinned on me. No matter what I said or how I explained it to them, they didn't care. They said it was my problem because I was in charge. This really sucks.
If you just try to put the blame on someone else, you won't learn from the experience. You should take it like a man and admit to your mistake. It was your project, right?
I get it. It's just that recently, no matter what I do,
You know what? Because you chose to have us live in a company apartment in the company housing complex. If my husband screws up, it makes me look bad too. Everything we do comes back on each other. Even though I don't work for your company, I'm always around its employees, and they all know me.
I know I'm not happy about what happened.
What I'm trying to say is, if you screw up again, I'm gonna divorce you. I can't take it anymore. Plus, your manager's wife, Mrs. Ortiz, is complaining about me again.
She's not the type to complain about something if there isn't a problem.
What is this? Are you taking her side now?
It's not that. It's just, before she retired, she helped train me and helped me get to where I am today. You're always telling her that whatever she says is wrong, even when she's clearly right.
She's just acting all high and mighty because she's in charge of the company housing. She's acting like my landlord, and she complains about every little thing I do around here. She thinks she's so great, but she's not.
Back when she was an employee here, she was loved by all the other employees, male or...
Oh, I don't care about that. She shouldn't get on my back about something that isn't my fault.
Well, people are on my back right now for a mistake that wasn't mine, and you told me I should own up to it. Yeah.
I don't want to hear any excuses. Oh, by the way, I'm not coming home tonight.
Where are you going?
What does it matter to you? Just stay out of my business.
Hey, hold on here.
You're just gonna be upset and thinking about work all night anyway. Oh yeah! A few days later.
Hey, Becca.
Oh, what's this? The person that made another huge mistake at work and got fired wants to talk to me.
I know all about what's been happening up to this point. You're with the owner of the company, Mr. Sander, aren't you? You've been cheating on me this whole time. Leave it to you to do something like this behind my back.
Ah, so you finally figured it out. You're not too sharp, so it was pretty easy. Uh-huh. Dilly is so smart. He was right about you. Hart?
Dilly?
That's what I call Dylan. You know, Mr. Sanders, the company owner. It's my pet name for him. Hart? By the way, he calls me Annie. Hart! Hart!
That's disgusting. I don't care what you call each other.
Like I said before, the next time you screw up at work, I'm divorcing you. So I expect you to sign those divorce papers for me now. If you try to make the divorce difficult, I won't be paying you compensation money.
I need that money. That compensation money will make up for the loss the company's taking from me because of my mistake. I'm not going to have anything left for myself. I know you did this to me on purpose. None of these mistakes were really mine. You two were setting me up the whole time. You're so mean. Both of you.
You're the victim here. So you should be happy you're not going to end up in debt because of it.
I'm not the victim just because you were cheating with the owner of the company. You might have caught me in your trap, but I'm not getting anything, nor am I really losing anything, so... Anyway, I'll make the divorce easy for you.
Oh, how about that? Ah, I'm so happy. As long as I can marry Dilly, then everything's all right. Hart? And that means you're left all by yourself. Haha. And you lost me, all on the same day. You've lost everything. How does it feel?
Oh, don't worry about me. You should be more worried about myself. Dylan got divorced at 41 and he's been single ever since. He's 48 now and still single. Do you have any idea why?
Oh, that? Well, obviously it's because he was in love with me.
Is that what Dylan told you?
That's right. Hart! The year I married you, there was that company party we went to. When was that? About 5 years ago. I only went because you were allowed to bring your family and you basically dragged me there. I'm glad I went now, though. I guess I was only 24 back then. But that's the first time I met your boss, Dylan. It was love at first sight. Heart! We exchanged contact into that day, and just 1 month later, he and I were heart.
You started cheating right after we got married, and you've been doing it for 5 years? So that's why we didn't have any children, huh? You did it on purpose, didn't you?
Of course. If we had kids, it would have been a pain in the butt to divorce you. I'm so happy now. I can have Dylan's babies. I'll have as many as he wants me to, heart. And I'll finally be the wife of a successful business owner. Yet, Mrs. Ortiz thinks she's so great, but her husband is just a high-rank manager. Soon I'll be even better than her. My husband will be the owner of the whole company.
Oh, so that's what this is about. Look, I didn't want to see you again, so I already filled out the divorce papers and gave them to Dylan to give to you. Just sign them and submit them. I'm sure you'll see Dylan soon.
Oh, wow! You're on the ball for once. Huh?
I ran to City Hall on my lunch break to get the divorce papers. I wanted to cut all ties to a snake like you as fast as I could.
Oh, say whatever you want about me. I'll go over the papers and sign them after work when I see Dylan. I'll submit the papers tonight. You can submit paperwork to the City Hall, even when they're closed.
Oh, well, that's great then. You're not going to be coming back to the company housing apartment, right? I'm going to be moving my stuff out this week, so I'll leave everything else up to you and the company.
Okay. Well, goodbye. 4 years later. David? How are you doing?
What?
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
What do you want?
Please don't be so cold with me, okay?
4 years ago, who was the one being really cold when he screwed over the other?
I'm so sorry for that. Thinking about getting divorced?
Really?
When you told me back then that I should be the one who's worried, I know what you meant by that now. Dilly's first wife wouldn't stand how badly her mother-in-law treated her, so she left Dilly.
Yeah, so I can only guess that Dylan's mother has set her sights on you now?
Yeah. On top of that, I had already been divorced once when I married Dylan. She won't let up about that. And I've only given birth to daughters. So she's really angry at me because she doesn't have a grandson to be heir to Dylan's company. And Dilly is too busy trying to save his business that he has no time to help me deal with her. Everything's in shambles.
I see.
Hey! You know that Dilly's company is about to go bankrupt, right?
Yeah, I know.
I heard you're doing really well where you are now. You've been promoted a bunch of times, haven't you?
I guess. I'm the sales director for the whole company now.
You managed to climb that high up after getting fired just 4 years ago. That's amazing.
So what?
I was thinking, I'll let you get back together with me.
What?
You're doing so well now. You deserve a wife, don't you? How about me? I have experience being a business owner's wife.
Hell no. Not even if you were the last person on Earth.
But this time, we can have children together. Apparently, I get pregnant really easily. Conception won't be a problem at all. I could have your child right away. Heart.
I've had more than enough of you already.
Don't say things like that, okay? Heart?
I'm already married and I have children, so...
What? You're kidding?
I have to ask. Judging by the way you're acting, you have no idea why your husband's company is doing so poorly, do you?
Yeah.
Well, it all started 4 years ago. After I got fired, Mr. Ortiz left too, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then after that, more and more employees left, didn't they?
I don't know the details, but I think I heard that a lot of families started leaving the company housing complex around that time. Yes. Why? Do you know something about it?
Mr. Ortiz started his own company.
What? His own company?
Yeah, in direct competition with Dylan's company.
In competition with him?
Dylan was jealous of Mr. Ortiz because Mr. Ortiz was so good. It made him feel inferior. He was keeping Mr. Ortiz down and wasn't using him to his full potential. Mr. Ortiz knew that with an owner like Dylan, the company's future wasn't looking too good.
He knew this was going to happen to Dilly's business?
When all those employees quit Dylan's company, they did it because they wanted to work for Mr. Ortiz's company. Honestly, he offered me a job at his new company just before I fired. Of course, he hadn't exactly started his company at that time, but he was close.
Really?
I was going to tell you, but that was right when all the stuff with you started happening. I got fired and you divorced me.
I had no idea.
Well, I fired. There was no reason to tell you after all that.
But for him to go from being a department manager to getting an entire business off the ground, and doing so well in that amount of time, he must be amazing, don't you think?
He's the best I've ever seen. He's always been the top performer. He's got a great attitude and everyone loves him. Along with me and my staff, our clients had tremendous faith in us. With that base, we were able to build up his business together quite quickly, and at the same time, word of Dillo sleeping with his employee's wife and stealing a married woman. Well, that news spread around pretty quickly. His reputation among all his clients went down pretty fast.
That?
Dylan had lost all goodwill he had with his clients, and one by one they moved over to our company. They wanted a company they could trust, full of people with good reputations.
So then, what about Mrs. Ortiz?
Oh, that's right. Well, she's still married to Mr. Ortiz, so right now she's not only the wife of a successful business owner, she's the wife of the #1 business owner in the whole city in this industry.
I can't believe this. You're lying. She can't be. After I waited so long to marry Dilly, I was supposed to be the wife of a successful business owner. I thought I'd beat her. I was supposed to be better than her.
It's like you're living under a rock. What? Let me put it in words even you can understand. You're not cut out to be the wife of anyone successful.
How dare you?
What, you think you can argue that? Think about it, and you'll see that there's one main reason why Dylan's company went under.
You don't mean. You're terrible.
Oh, and one more thing. It's already been decided that Mr. Ortiz's company is taking over Dylan's company.
A takeover?
Well, let's be nice and call it a merger. So Dylan is going to be stepping down as owner.
You're lying.
Don't worry, we found a new position for him for the time being. But because of everything that's happened with him so far, he's only going to be making about 1/5 of his old salary.
It's going down that much?
And because of this merger, not too long from now, Mr. Ortiz and I will be heading over your way. I suggest you prepare yourself.
After that?
After that, we merged with Dylan's company. At first, the employees from Dylan's company were worried about how else they'd be treated, seeing as they were being absorbed into another company. But many of the employees from Dylan's company remembered who Mr. Ortiz was when saw him. After meeting with the employees and discussing things with them a few times, the atmosphere in their office lightened up and it was back to business as usual. Dylan had inherited his company from his father, and because he wasn't able to maintain it, he felt a lot of guilt over what had happened, and he had a change of heart. However, Becca didn't. She readily handed over custody of her daughters to Dylan and divorced him. She immediately started looking for another man with lots of money to marry. But with her attitude, along with the fact that she's been divorced twice already and had some children, I don't know how much luck she'll have with that.
Thanks for subscribing.